motivation is not what will get you through hell. Motivation is not what will fuel your the vast majority of your days. What you will have to be running on the majority of days is discipline. Yeah, there might be days where you feel like smashing the world and conquering and so on, but most days you will either feel like just normal dude or not want to, just do the things that you have to do. And that's what you have you why you have to run on discipline, not on motivation. Motivation is good to get you started, but once you get started, you have to run on discipline. You have to rely on that and force yourself to do the things that you know you should be doing but you aren't. And it's just beating other people's best days on your worst. That's more or less what you should be aiming for. Now keep in mind this is just kind of a mental picture. You shouldn't be aiming to compare yourself with people all the time, which, don't get me wrong, comparing yourself with other people is not wrong. What is wrong is basing your entire judgment of yourself and of your success on that comparison. But now, moving back to what I was saying, you should run on discipline. It is the key word, and I know this gets repeated a lot in the current motivational speaking and so on, but it is obvious. I mean, the beginner advice for anything is just do the basics, do them right, and do them all the time for an uncomfortably long period of time. That is that is it. I mean, motivation and advice and so on. It all boils down to what you have to do. So just stop watching these videos and go do it, and do it for years until it pays off. But if you do the basics, it's just guaranteed to pay off. I mean, you will grow as a person, as a one person business, as a small business, I don't care, as I don't know, in the gym, whatever. You will grow if you do the basics right, and maybe every now and then add up a little bit of spice by doing side things to differentiate yourself from the rest. But if you get yourself with discipline to do the basics for years and years, you will nail it. That's basically what happened with me. I've been training for 4 years, and I was just a skinny fat kid, and now here we are, man. 4 years later, doing the basics over and over and over, never anything fancy, and I believe I'm pretty much nailed it. I mean, 19 years old and I'm killing it, I believe. Of course, I'm not world class, but better than 90% of people, that's for sure. So yeah, just run on discipline. And another thing I want to mention before this is the judgment thing that I talked about a little bit in the beginning, that comparing yourself to other people and taking their judgment into account and letting it take a role in your life and be important to you is not wrong, in contrast to what most people say. It is right to let that judgment into consideration, but what is wrong and what leads people to generally say don't pay attention to it is basing your worth, your self-perceived worth, on that judgment. You should take it into account, because if everybody thinks you're a jerk, then you're evidently doing something wrong. Yeah, sometimes you will have to pull yourself through harsh judgment everywhere, but most of the time it will not be the case. So yeah, comparing yourself with other people is not wrong. You can do it, but you can't let it dictate the entirety of your thoughts and who you think you are. The perfect realization of the image you have of yourself and of what other people think you are is not the goal. The goal is staying constantly on that path of trying to realize that image based on what you deem worthy of being, and what you deem worthy, what you deem yourself worthy of being for yourself and for the good of the world. That's basically it.